2 kills in the early game, you give them first turtle, for sure you're losing the next 5 minutes.
That explains Liquid's higher lineup rating and higher early game. They have that 1-2 combo, that Kalia Farsa, and even the Glue Farsa. Whoever they want to feed into the possibly late game usage that Caldees is going to be able to snowball into. Let's watch how this unfolds. Game number 1, Liquid Philippines versus Smart Omega. Who's going to be first on the board?
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
I don't know, man. It feels like Liquid can get a full stampede on this game. We've seen a lot of crazy YSS momentums paired up with a Kalea, Barca, a Granger that naturally just builds Sky Piercer. There will come a point in this game, if TLPH had enough momentum, they won't even care about minion waves. They're just gonna find heroes to kill.
Yeah. On the other side, I see a possibility of Omega getting a surprise win at around Turtle 1 or Turtle 2. Something that we usually see with the Fogies and Lancelot together in the same lineup. And considering that you have the extra surprise factor of, oh, hey, we have a Ruby, 1 second skill suddenly messes up your team fight flow, that's something that Team Liquid Philippines might get surprised by.
Yeah. I mean, TLPH, Omega, they do have the Lance Phobius, as you mentioned. Lancelot could just steal a turtle. Phobius has been, a nightmare to deal with in the first turtle. But one problem that they have to solve first is Sanford. Like, they have to deal with this glue. Because we've seen a lot of Phobius glue matchups, even in the international stage. If nobody shows up on XP, Glue just takes over the turtle and then goes mid, gets level 4 there, and then hunts for the enemy jungler.
Okay, I have a slight crazy question here.
Okay.
Do they need to worry about the glue when early on, Liquid might not even have the damage to supplement what Sanford brings to the table as a glue? Considering that we did mention the Phobius Lancelot problem of Team Liquid Philippines against Omega.
The thing is, they don't have to worry about Glue's damage, but they have to worry about his displacement factor. Because there's a Kalea in the game. The pure displacement, and then also the level 4 of the Parsa. Feather Airstrike can just burst anybody down. They don't even have to kill the Lancelot, honestly. If the Lancelot steals the turtle, it's fine. Ryze is going to show up, Retri. As long as you poke the Phobius, and then for the next few minutes, the Phobius is shut down, the Glue is just taking over the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm more afraid of. Again, it's through mid that everything else happens for Team Liquid Philippines. So I'm expecting Omega to attack elsewhere. Omega's gonna harass Oheb. Omega's gonna try to, again, we've seen it before, just bear down on that glue while it's trying to find its targets. We've seen that happen once or twice.
Yeah. I guess to hone in on your point, like attack elsewhere, it's not just attack, but also commit. Like if they want to go for turtle, they have to address Sanford. If they want to go for some play else, maybe put 3 or 4 heroes on gold lane.
Oh, speaking of, Netsky trying to trade against Oheb, it's clear that he's already acknowledged that this is a practice in futility. You can't trade against a Granger, not like this.
Yeah. Even instead of sidestepping or trying to get away from the range of basic attacks, Oheb just threw up a sticker. And even Netsky, in his own right, was like, I don't care if you hit me with your first skill. It's cool, man. It's all right. Let's just trade this out.
Yeah, it's funny because like Oheb realizes the Cloud's damage is so low, he could just trade basic attacks. He's not even like trying to hit the first skill. Yeah. When the Cloud was behind the minions, he was just like, okay, I'll just fire at you. When he goes back, all right, Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And the difference will be in their first items, which we've yet to take a peek on.
True.
Because I would guess one of them, or whoever chooses to be the aggressor, will build warrior boots. And then just go from there. It's like, all right, you want to trade, huh?
Yeah.
I own the first 6 minutes of trading.
Yeah, problem is that hurts the Claude. Because even if, let's say, all right, he's holding his own against the YSS, against the Granger, it's reducing the damage for the Air Strike though. So if TLPH decides to go for the gold lane, it is counterintuitive to go for that item. So some Claude players, if they feel like the warrior boots doesn't solve their mid-game problems, they would just try to rush items. So maybe there's a world where Nets just rushes DHS into corrosion, into golden staff, so they have a fighting chance. But even then, like you're fighting into the window of the Granger, wherein when you get those 2 items, like the first 2 for the Claw, you already have the Sky Piercer for the Granger.
Yeah, at some point, he'll also have to consider, like, all right, am I going to build a Jerkin real quick just to lessen the physical damage just a little bit, and then I'm going to go into the DHS. And yeah, I do agree with you that the DHS should come before the Corrosion Scythe in this scenario, considering that he will probably get harassed a lot. That extra little bit of sustainability for himself might help out the Cloud even more.
And we haven't really talked about the jungle matchup as much. The Lancelot versus the Yi Sun Shin it's rare that this trade actually happens because teams are still so honed in on, oh, these are two of the best junglers right now, despite the utility actually having so much more definitive, again, utility when you're trying to build up your side lanes or your cores. What do we expect Ryzen and Carl to do?
I would say for Ryzen, he's more focused on like contesting against TLPH, but Carl TZ, I mean, their signature YSS has been kind of different from a lot of the YSS we've seen, so maybe that's where the cracks show up. Because TLPH, they don't actually use the YSS as an aggressor in the mid game. They try to take it towards the late stage of the game. So maybe that's why Omega thought of letting go of the YSS, because they know TL is going to take this to late game.
Yep, so we can confirm that Ryzen will try to contest and try to attack these side lanes, while Netsky's the first to budge. He built his tough boots already.
And dives, he's immune onto the Claude, but he is not going to be able to immune himself from damage. Oheb survives the last hit of the tower. Good interplay between Baby Cakes to take down the Claude.
Try to use the tough boots against those two this early on, although this does open up a turtle.
Okay, that's going to be a slap onto one. Sanford, the displacement too strong against Ryzen, and Liquid will be able to not get the turtle, actually, as miraculously it's Haji who takes it, as Team Liquid will now try to invade and counter what Omega was able to bring to the table, and then James goes in as the Phobias. Omega have been able to counter that.
Wow. All right. I was going to say, amazing rotation from TLPH. They knew they were going to rotate towards the gold lane because Cartesi started on the blue side. But Omega with the counter punch. Oh, Haji. Oh, the damage. No.
Huge. You were saying?
Yeah, I was saying. Now, Omega, they punish really hard. But TLPH's turn onto Ryzen allowed them to get more of the resource on the map. But James, again, he's the tempo setter for Smart Omega after TLPH knew that, okay, there's no jungler who can actually invade that flicker Dark Wave onto YSS.
Oh, look at this. The Filipino sniper Oheb, currently ranked #1 Granger in the league. Throughout his stats, career all-time highs. I didn't expect that.
Surprising too, but I mean, he played a lot in MSC, so
That's
no
true.
surprise that he's also tearing it up in the Philippines with the Granger. Already has the Hunter Strike, and he didn't go for the Warrior Boots. He did get the Jerkin and the initial boots first, though.
Yep, he doesn't have to go toe-to-toe against Nets. He knows that Nets is going to be leaving the lane half the time, and he forced Nets into investing into this duel when it really wasn't going to be a duel anyways. Confirming that Nets is on his way to a corrosion site. That's his first investment here.
Yeah. Or maybe just,
just leave it there?
Yeah, casual crossbow, go to DHS.
Yeah.
But again, this hurts Netsky even more because he had to finish Warrior Boots, but now TLPH, they would just swing from gold lane to mid lane. They don't even care about the Claude at this point. So for TLPH, all they care about is mid lane control, allowing Carl TZ to go wherever he wants, and then Oheb would just pop off in the gold lane every once in a while.
Yep, this side lane gambit has already failed. Sanji popped the Purify there. I think he could have sworn that Omega were going to jump him.
And I think now James knows with the Purify gone from Sanji, he can just jump straight to the backline where Sanji is. He will have his Feathered Airstrike available for him. Good shrubs held by Omega. James shows himself first. A little bit of a trading, a little bit of a dance before they go all out.
Team Liquid Philippines waiting until Carl TZ says it's go time. Waiting for the jump!
Flicker along with the jump. Super Yoshi gets taken down by Oheb. Blazing Web by Netsky is going to be able to be enough to take down JP. Meanwhile, Sanford with the displacement onto James. They're going to be able to finish off the Phobias, and Team Liquid Philippines in a snap win the fight.
Quick fingers coming out from TLPH. JP with a punish. Quick jump as well. Title strike on Smart Omega. Even though the counter fight was there, Haji threw out the umbrella with the blazing do it from Netsky, but Oheb was able to flicker out.
Painful for Smart Omega. It seemed like they were the aggressor. It seemed like they were going to set something up, but Liquid found the window. Now up by about 2,000 gold. We'll see that sequence once again. Here's an Infinix instant replay. Yeah, we caught the tail end.
Yeah.
The best part of that was right before that start clip.
Yeah. To be honest, that flicker out from Oheb was everything. for TLPH. They were able to fight after the initial spells were thrown for Smart Omega. Netsky had to go out with a BMI, and unfortunately for James, he was left alone to his own devices. JP?
JP goes in again with the second skill, and that's going to be a stun coming in from the Mountain Shocker. Blazing the red low, and here comes the counter by Omega. Netsky, perfect entry, perfect timing, and perfect damage as Carl, TC, and JP fall. James trying to go after Sanji, but he's not going to be able to catch the mid laner of Liquid.
Press go with a double KO. Did not expect a Claude to hit that hard this early.
Yeah, and this is what I meant with what we said earlier. Omega, they're not afraid of anything. JP jumped onto Super Yoshi instead of flickering out, flickered in front of the YSS, and Netsky committed the Blazing Duet.
This was mentioned in the Howl, and you also doubled down on this, Midnight. Omega fights at the weirdest of times.
Yeah.
And they started with an I'm offended, but they ended with a Blazing Duet and a free 2 kills that resulted in, oh my god, conversion through the roof, a tier 1 push down bottom. Netsky not only survived the laning phase, but won it.
Oh my goodness, James and Yoshi, they're opening up the doors for Netsky's late game. Now this Claude is gonna become a problem for TLPH because one item counters them all. It's just the wind of nature, honestly. Even though I say that there's that Feathered Airstrike, there is that Tidal Strike from JP, but he has a Purify, and it's kind of hard to use the Feathered Airstrike onto a Claude with almost max movement speed.
So now Omega are going to be opening up the map through their Claude in the bottom lane. Liquid are going to go for the Turtle Blitz. Omega will not be able to contest this healthily, but Omega are playing for the slow push onto the sides with the map control. They don't need to take that right now. They want to play the slow and steady pace around their Claude.
So Mount Shocker revealing all of Smart Omega. So Liquid knows it's worthy. It's safe to trade for the top lane. 40 forced to use a spread here. Omega holding down the fort in mid.
Yeah, I like the word you used though, trade. TLPH, they're finding trades because they know Omega's doing something on the map. And unfortunately for TLPH, even though they got the turtle, as you said, Smart Omega, they're fine with this.
Okay, Sanford is starting things off now, but here comes the entry of Haji, able to interrupt the Feathered Airstrike, Blazing Duet again by Netsky, and JP goes down. Yet again, Omega seem to have found the perfect answer to how Team Liquid play. They wait for the JP or Sanford entry, play it slow and steady, and then go all in when they see one of the frontliners are low.
Ooh, attempted Grand Theft Purple here, and I think that is successful.
It is, yeah, Carl
refused to use the retry.
Yeah, he felt like he was gonna be able to take even Ryzen.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. He actually used his own, own retry.
Gentlemen, may I say I love what Ryzen is doing. This is a throwback to the Season 9 utility Lancelot we've seen him flourish in.
Yeah.
It's the Bruiser build.
Yeah, alongside SDZYZ, right? The Bruiser Lancelot, and now Ryzen is showcasing his ability to just maneuver around fights. And Omega, again, as we've said earlier, they're fine with what's currently happening on the map. They're fine trading farms, because guess what? Oh,
Yoshi with a conceal to the back. Let's see if he's going to be able to grab someone, because actually JP was able to grab James. James able to flicker out, and there's going to be an awkward angle for Sanford. He's going to be left alone. Is he going to be able to get away from the members of Omega as Ryzen gets chased down by Carl TZ? No deaths, but Omega almost catching Team Liquid off guard.
Good amount of resources used to both disengage and find these fights.
Yeah.
But Liquid are standing their ground. They refuse to back off.
Yeah, this is tough for Smart Omega. Even though, again, as we've said earlier, they're fine with getting farm. But now with less battle spells on their side, TLPH can just blitz the Lord.
Okay, next he's Purify is still online. He's looking for stacks. Might get it from this wave up top. Lord here approaching half health. 40 just sweeping that river brush. Control of this is key.
Yeah, quite awkward right now for Omega to engage, but here comes JP with the entry once again. Tsunami slam onto Super. Yoshi gets taken out. Netsky's Blazing Duet gets sidestepped. Haji gets punished. And in the back, though, you see James grabbed yet again by Sanford. The displacement too strong for this glue. And James can only stand and try, but he will eventually fall against Team Liquid.
Omega are showing signs of, how do I say, they struggle to put up a box. Like, Liquid just break through their formation so easily.
Yeah, that's the fault line of JP. Like, he found the Ruby, and he knew there was no punish. There was no flicker from James. Nobody could stop the Kalea from just jumping on the Ruby, and Carl DZ dodged away from the Blazing Duet too from Netsky. So Omega wasn't doing any damage. Sanford
goes zone out because JP's way too low to front for Team Liquid. It looks like Liquid is going to be able to get that turtle. Make it the Lord, actually, as Ryzen gets grabbed, gets taken out with the Blazing Duet by Netsky. Netsky is on point. A shutdown and a double kill for Netsky. As Sanford is able to stay and catch Haji. 40 is going to be left behind though. Unless Sanji can help him out, he cannot. He can only watch as Netsky now has 6 kills in this game.
Netsky put this whole game on his back. Literally, all that Smart Omega is doing is for Netsky.
Yeah. Everybody on the side of Omega can actually just maneuver around these fights. Haji throwing umbrellas left and right. James with the constant jumps. Unlimited dashes from Ryzen. And the damage, it's all coming out from Netsky. Even though they lost the Lord, TLPH, they felt like they could actually go for more. But the Blazing Duet was ready from Netsky and he was able to take out Oheb.
Midnight, all the more it's scary when you mention that this is stopped by a singular item, a Wind of Nature.
Yeah.
What happens when Liquid finally gets that?
I mean, at this point, the Wind of Nature becomes the key for both sides. TLPH and Smart Omega actually on all cores.
And it's also like who can get the better box, because Team Liquid Philippines, there are times where, yeah, they have a good formation, easily broken by Omega. And then on the other side, Omega, if they mess up their initial entry into the box of Team Liquid, suddenly they're fighting in an awkward spot because they're all diving in.
Yeah. Even though like we praise the late game aspect of this Omega's lineup, their team fight is kind of one-dimensional. Like if you go, you have to go. It's very full committal. If you mess up, that's it. TLPH could just reposition with the unlimited traceless. Even though there's a couple of dashes as well from Smart Omega, you cannot stop the amount of pokes they have from the Farsa, from the YSS, and even the Granger.
Even if you take this to the 25-minute mark, I don't think Omega can hold a box against Liquid. That's just what this lineup is capable of doing. And you'll see here, Oheb is just a wee bit off of that Wind of Nature.
Yep.
When it does happen, when he gets that item, it's over. They have to find a way to burst that Granger, because this whole rattle Liquid until Netsky can come with a Blazing Duet situation won't happen again.
Yeah, but it's not on Netsky though. Like there's also Wind of Nature for the Claude. So for both sides, they have the win conditions, but again, it's just more awkward for Smart Omega to actually start fights. They have to wait for JP. Super Yoshi can't just jump in, find the catch, because there's a ton of punish on the side of TLPH.
And by the way, we're having a Superfan early Pamasko promo. Buy your tickets now. Limited time only, goes from 250 pesos to 189. Promo runs from September 5 to September 19. But I feel like if we ask Omega, hey, how do you feel about awkward team fight? They're going to answer, what awkward? We like that.
We don't care.
We like it when it's a little kind of freaky, you know.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
That's just how they are.
And we're into that, you know?
This is a ragtag squad of athletes taken from all over the world across the MLBB ecosystem and now playing under the banner Smart Omega. Lord is up. Liquid just seems to let it go. I mean, Kaldi's gonna spot this.
Omega are gonna be able to rush this.
Yeah, Oheb showed himself top lane.
Let's see if Omega will be able to rush the Lord. It looks like they will be, but Kaldi's is close enough. James, just James alone was enough of a zone out. And here comes the Feather Dash Strike. JP with a flicker, title strike, and the Mountain Shocker. But Oheb still alive, blazing duet. Godlike for Netsky, but Oheb's able to sidestep. He's fighting, he's surviving. Ryzen trying to hold on, but it's a double kill for Sanford. Netsky went after Oheb, but couldn't get the kill. 2-4-2.
Massive win for Smart Omega, because at the beginning of this engagement, the sequence, they got the Lord, and now 40's on Hodge.
Oh, he's going to be able to dash on out of there, and Sanford's going to be stuck in the tower. Feather Dash Strike. San holding on, but Netsky able to free hit, but Netsky will back away. The Lord is marching for Omega up top.
Okay, here's the thing about Smart Omega. Okay, they're done. Here's the thing about Smart Omega and Super Yoshi. It doesn't matter how many times you doubt the hero pick. What you don't need to doubt is the mechanical execution. He was jumped by JP. Even with the conceal, he was walking in front of YSS, making sure that TLPH does not try anything fishy against Smart Omega. And after that sequence, JP found the counter jump. Instead of flickering out right away, he hooked 2 members on the side of TLPH, and that allowed for an amazing and beautiful Blazing Duet from Netsky.
I mean, there ain't no Matildas, no Angelas, no Rafaelas here. When you commit in a team fight that is made up of lineups like this, it's all in. If you get away, you have to make the call. I'm going away, but Liquid were already in too deep. They already lost the Lord, and they wanted to find something else. And what they found was the end of the barrel of Netsky's double pistols. They're trying to recover, because for the first time in a while, actually, this whole game, if not, Omega now has a lead.
Yeah, this is the first time. It's a small lead, but again, This is the late game power of the Claude. Even though there is a lot of punish from TLPH, these sequences have been amazing for Super Yoshi. The catches that he's been able to land. And also James, just disrupting the enemy front line. Sanji is always trying to like find a perfect position so that he doesn't get caught by the Phoveus.
And it seems like we've found the answer. What happens when Liquid gets their hands on a Wind of Nature? Sure, it's just on Oheb, but that's a key part of that lineup. We found the answer. Omega can go for kills elsewhere.
Yeah.
Carl TZ dying that quickly?
Yep.
It's not like he couldn't do anything to Netsky. He will just fold when the Blazing Duet gets in his face. Sanford, here's another option. Builds the blade armor. So now he's gonna hurt Netsky a little more on the clapback, but that doesn't answer what you do for Sanji. Maybe that's why Sanji here is keeping himself scarce. He's deathless so far. He wants to stay that way, because if he gets picked off early or if he's exposed to a lone Netsky, it's over. Like this whole thing, like forget about it. If one of these 3 cores dies first, then Oheb can't even make the most of that Wind of Nature.
Yeah, they have to space out their positioning, because honestly, it's kind of hard for TLPH to go right now in front of Omega. If they want to find a title strike target for JP, I think at this point you try and catch the Phoveus, so he doesn't become a problem for the Farsa.
Yeah, 100%, because James has been a menace for Team Liquid Philippines to handle. The fact that he can survive so long in fights and also deal a great amount of damage along with it has been a thorn on their side. So Sanford spots James out onto the wings. Omega.
Controlling the amount of information. Again, Carl TZ does not use the Mountain Shocker just yet. James down to less than half health. Forces the flicker.
What? Ooh, that is big. There's a big utility spell used out there. Let's see if Team Liquid Philippines are going to be capitalizing. They're rushing the Lord a little bit more, considering that the flicker is gone. Omega now holding vision given by Carl TZ, who's going to win the retry battle, and it goes to Oheb. You don't need no retries, and now they're going to be fighting it out at the remains of the Lord. JP does get taken out though, but Omega will walk away with having to defend their base with a Lord Siege.
That one Death Sonata from Kiel Soriano caught the Lord, and TLPH, even though they lost JP, at least you are able to push forward against Smart Omega. Good disengage as well after that Lord was finished, and they dodged the Blazing Duet.
Oh, that's a conceal. I think Yoshi wants to
The flicker and the eye offended to catch the YSS. Sanford now forced to flicker out to get out of there. And let's see if Team Liquid Philippines will actually be able to do something with this Lord. It doesn't look like it. Omega, what a catch, what a read.
Fair enough. Smart Omega needed to take out Carl TZ to make this Lord defense safe and to stop the bleeding.
This is the story of Smart Omega. It's not just Ryzen. You don't question any technical limitations on the squad, even Super Yoshi on the Ruby. We had a lot of doubts on the last 2 picks of Smart Omega, and now they're making it work. I was scared for a second, like playing Ruby into YSS, if he has a good game, then he's just dodging all of the, the mini crowd controls that you have. But when you play it like this, like Smart Omega is very full committal. When we want to pick somebody off, we pick somebody off.
I think people tend to forget, given how rampant he is in the metagame, YSS only has 1 dash.
Yeah.
If you're able to count it, and I think that's what Omega did.
Yeah.
If we could have been a fly in that room, you would have heard, he's done with the traceless, let's go.
Now, what does your 1 dash do against what? Multiple dives?
That's true.
Sure, go ahead, get vision, but I think from the trends that we've seen, it's a sure thing that JP and Carl TZ will fall almost every team fight.
Dude, that's why like the technical limitation is a very important topic, because right now it doesn't seem like it for Smart Omega. TLPH, it's not that Carl. Oh wait, Ryzen
spots Sanji, flaps him out of the bush, forcing a wings by wings. The Barangay are marching forth.
Yeah, you know what? It's not like TLPH is playing bad with their heroes. It's not like Card or JP's feeding. It's just that Omega, they're using their heroes right.
They're taking what they can. These are the licks that come with the big wins. Liquid have lost the lead once more. I'd say the map isn't equal, red and blue. And the Lord is spawning on the upper quarter. Mountain Shocker.
Oh, no, wait.
All of Omega R's shown, and that's a what? There's like a Sanj.
Okay, already committed there.
Two big
I think this
ults.
one for the next trades. Two big ults committed there by Liquid as they use their Mountain Shocker as well to get vision. It's gonna have to be a long dance for them against Omega in the
Yeah.
Lord that spawns in 13 seconds.
I like this. They reposition towards the long lane. They know that Ryzen is not going to be punished. There's no Mountain Shocker for the YSS. So there's no way TLPH is going to know for the next 30 seconds. Oh,
JP
never
goes in
mind.
with the title strikes and Nami Slam, and they burst down the Kagura. Advantage for the cavalry.
It's
Let's see if
clear.
Omega are going to be able to find a turnaround. They are going to slow things down. Mountain Shocker using it. They're going to go for the chase. Mountain Shocker to stun. James down, but the blazing duet after the pull by Yoshi. If you're offended, you can only watch. But Liquid are still fighting through Oheb. The Granger is fresh. He is fighting, and he takes down Yoshi. That's a double kill for Oheb.
3 for 1, even if it is the GOAT you take down. It's a bad look for Omega. How was Haji caught like that?
I don't know. He threw the umbrella. The catch was there from TLPH. JP made two phenomenal plays. One catch onto the Kagura and then one catch onto Ryzen. The setup was beautiful from Smart Omega. No punish, no Mountain Shocker, no vision. We could just play the long lane. But Haji had to show in mid.
And what's weird is he used the Rasho umbrella flea to position
no.
himself and not to cleanse whatever was coming his way. That rarely happens for the KDA machine.
Super Yoshi though, like that catch onto the YSS was chef's kiss from Smart Omega, not from Sanji by the way.
But that was just repairing an already bad situation.
Yes.
They lost the Lord here, and Liquid are on the offensive once more. 2,000 gold lead. Lord is spawning very soon. Here's a quick look once again at that sequence.
Yeah, very, and I would say a big blunder from Haji when he tried clearing that mid lane. But again, JP stopped the Phantom Execution from the Lancelot, and they were able to take out Ryzen, effectively removing one of the maneuvers that Omega can actually pull off, which basically safeguards the Claude from the team fights.
Yeah, and it looked like Omega fought that as if they caught Oheb. They did not catch Oheb. He didn't need to use his flicker out. And with
true.
the Granger alive, full build, all the damage in the world in favor for Liquid. Omega, let's see if they'll have enough tools to defend. Feather Dash Strike already committed. James, Dark Wave to cancel out the Feather Dash Strike. Two towers still stand here for Omega. They're going to be able to take down the Lord relatively quickly. Vision provided. JP goes in straight for Super Yoshi. Tsunami Slap, Tidal Strike, everything in between. Ryzen able to dash through the minions. He's trying to clear it up. Too much damage and clear for Omega. Liquid, though, they still have minions. They're still pushing, but they will back off now.
Great defense by the Barangay, keeping themselves and the base intact.
Yeah.
They do lose quite a bit of gold in that exchange, about 4,000 now. The Cavalry are marching forward with, and a Lord spawning in a minute. Where else does Omega find a way back?
I think you try and do the same sequence as what they did last time, but this time don't blunder in the mid, because TLPH, they're very quick to punish. Once they see anybody on the side of Smart Omega show up, the Kalei is going to be able to jump in and go for the punish. Water crowns are very much important in this, this part of the game. We're reaching the equilibrium state, wherein gold lead doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Both sides have went past 60k.
So the map clearly belongs to the Cavalry. The Barangay can win these small skirmishes because they're less ult reliant, and they can just suddenly win off of easy pickoffs. But Liquid are keeping themselves scarce. Like, they're not doing what, again, I hate to point fingers, but what Haji did earlier. Like,
Yeah.
they're not spreading themselves too thin, and now they're making themselves harder to
Ooh,
find.
okay.
40.
Good vision for him. Aizen and James and everyone on the side of Omega are going to get spotted out, which means Liquid can play around the behind the Lord pit just a little bit more, which is one of their favorite angles on this side where JB is right now. That is one of the signature placements for a roamer for Team Liquid. Let's see if he's going to be able to get the flicker jump into someone.
Oh.
If they can catch. Feathered Airstrike already committed there by Sanji. Might be a little bit too early as Omega are going to be trying to blitz this Lord. Carl Teasy. Here comes the conceal by JP. Is Omega actually going to be able to win this and turn it around? Tsunami Slap, Tidal Strike, and the Mountain Shocker, but the Blazing Duet entry here by Netsky. Under where Oheb is. Haji gets taken down by Sanji. Liquid are still alive and fighting, while Omega are still trying to get close to the Lord, but they can't. JP gets the last hit. Rising gets taken down in the last-ditch effort. James takes down Oheb, but Omega have lost two. Netsky might fall.
Oh
He
my
loses
goodness.
immortality, and the Claude clawing, but he can't. As San stands tall with the GOAT remaining for Liquid.
It's just Yoshi left to defend. Lord marching in mid, and they're They're basically ushering it away from bottom 2.
This is way too difficult, way too damn hard. You may have super in your name, but there's too many damn minions to watch. Flex all you want, because Liquid will take game number 1.
That was a fight already lost.